it's silver.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's not silver. If it were, it would be stamped. You don't want it?
I just switched the pendant for today.
It's actually a really nice little earring.
It is. It's very beautiful. Yeah.
It's like not at all cheaply made because the intricacies within the little tiny thread looking things are really nicely cut.
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
found this earring someplace, and I picked it up because it was beautiful, but I don't think it's sterling, so I can't wear it. But Aaron's been using it as a necklace pendant, and it's been looking really nicely snazzy on him. Where do you want me to put it?
I have a little jewelry hook in my closet.
Hello, everyone. Fred, say hi. Don't be rude. Okay, well, he's rude. That's fine. Today is going to be a very mishmash live. I will be making some youtiao dough for Lalao, and I'm going to steam off some Japanese sweet potato that I bought. I don't really know why I bought it, besides the fact that I saw it and I was like, I kind of want to eat Japanese sweet potatoes, so that's why I bought it. We'll steam it. I might also make some tangyuan dough for Lalao. She really liked the last batch that I made, and it had sweet potato filling, so I figured perfect that I have sweet potato now because I can make some sweet potato filling for her tomorrow and make some tangyuan for her. And then we'll cut my hair, I guess. I don't know how I'm gonna cut it yet. I haven't decided. Fred's just gonna hang out there, I guess. That's cool. Bye, Aaron. Have a good time. For those of you who followed my existential crisis over using the last of my mom's rose bar soap that I found in her house, we have officially finished that bar, and we have moved on to another bar that I found in her house. It says good. I'm gonna guess I probably gave this soap to her too once upon a time, but it smells nice. Oops. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and peel the sweet potato. I'll set a little kind of steamer situation in probably the IKEA pot and just let it go. In the meantime, let me pull up chat, see what you guys are saying. This is one of the kitchen items that I got from Mom's house that for a very long time I was like, I wish somebody would just take this off my hand because I don't really want it. But lo and behold, weeks of putting Mom's stuff out on her front lawn, nobody took this or the bowl that went with it. that we once cooked shrimp chips in her house. So I took it home. Guess what? It fits this IKEA pot. So let's just go ahead and steam some shit in here, huh? So about an inch of water. We don't really want water in the steamer itself. And I'm just gonna go ahead and chunk it straight in. Let's use our cleaver today, huh? Ooh, if you're asking what happened to my mom, I guess you are new. Welcome. I'm going to turn the water onto a boil. Usually I do like to keep skins on because, you know, fiber, vitamins, whatever, but sweet potato skins bloat me like nothing else. It's a very painful bloat too, not just a gassy, farty bloat, but like a very, I'm about to explode bloat. So it's just not worth it. But it is very pretty. Japanese yams or Japanese sweet potato peels are especially pretty. Just to make sure that everything cooks a little bit faster, I'm just going to chunk it down to about inch-long pieces. Any larger than that will steam fine, but it'll just take longer to penetrate into every single piece. So if you want it to cook faster, just chop it smaller. Really, really imprecise. But it does not matter. If you have never had Japanese sweet potato, it is truly an experience. It is almost like a different creature than the orange North American sweet potato that you might be used to. Highly recommend it. Alright folks, fill me in. How's your week been? Give me the highs and the lows, please. Yes, Fred, meow too. Once I hear the water is up to boil, I'm going to turn the heat down to low. It'll just continue steaming. It doesn't need to be at a full force. I don't actually think having it at a rolling boil will steam it any faster than at a simmering boil. I'm just steaming up some sweet potatoes. I'll probably eat some with peanut butter, and then I'll probably make some into a tangyuan filling for Lalo, and get really gassy and bloated, and then curse myself later. So I bought this cleaver off of eBay, and I didn't know what kind of metal it was for sure, but it looks like it is carbon steel because it will oxidize your vegetables like that. Probably not wise to steam such a large batch at once, but I am lazy. So we're just gonna hope it cooks. Okay. One thing done. I don't know what batatas are, but let me Google it. I don't even think batatas are sweet potatoes. Thank you, Nez. Thank you for the shirt. Oh, I see. I think it's just, is it just Spanish for sweet potatoes? When I Google batatas, it even pulls up images of potatoes. I have no idea what batatas mean. Anyone who speaks that language, feel free to let us know. You have gunshots out your window. That's pretty intense. I had a car crash outside my window last week. That was very strange. I just heard like a clatter and then followed by car alarms going off. And then I look out my window and a very lovely, expensive looking white sports car model has crashed into two parked cars. And the driver kind of stumbles out, airbag fully popped, and no police showed up. And no ambulances either, so I don't think anyone was hurt, but I hope you're okay. Gunshots out your window does not sound fun at all. But I guess that is the reality for a lot of people. Okay. While we are steaming, I have made some biga, which is just flour, yeast, water. I also added some sugar. It smells very fermenty now because it's been sitting for over 12 hours, and so this is essentially like a starter. I also saved a nub of our last youtiao dough, and we're just going to plop this into the new dough as well. I remember one of the last conversations I had with Mom about making breads in Chinese cuisine. You know, it's kind of like a sourdough situation too, where they would just save a knob of dough from the last batch and they would combine this mother constantly into the future batches. So that's what we're gonna do. If you are interested in the youtiao recipe that I will be basing this off of, I will link it now. But obviously this original youtiao recipe does not have any starter to speak of. But that's what I will be working off of. I made this last batch of youtiao dough very wet, as you can see, like this is what the dough looks like. And I've discovered that if you have a relatively wet dough, it doesn't seem to get as greasy. And I was talking with my friend Samira about this yesterday, and I was thinking like maybe having a wetter dough means that the higher water content potentially repels the oil from seeping in all the way, so it doesn't really absorb into the dough as readily as if you were to have a drier dough. I don't know, I'm not a food scientist, but it's very possible. So I might just, stray from the recipe and add water in and go until we have something similar to this consistency. The original recipe calls for cornstarch. I'm going to use some arrowroot starch. I don't know the difference. I just know I have this, and I'm going to use it. What else? Baking powder, baking soda. The way that I was working this youtiao dough last week, and the results came out fantastic, was I basically worked it the same way I do sourdough bread, which is to say I come back, stretch and fold it over a span of 4 to 6 hours, and that tends to give it like a very nice elasticity. Really develops the gluten quite well, and I was pleasantly surprised. So my original recipe, only calls for 3/4 cup cold water. I've already added a full cup in now. I think we're gonna have to keep adding some more because I want it to be like pretty sloshy. Not completely like batter, but I don't want it to be a mass of dough that I can pick up in one hand. I want it to be a little bit runnier and a little bit more freeform. What are we doing a countdown for? Very confused. What's in your menu, Joy? Oh, birthday wishes. Happy birthday! And yes, it looks very craggy and uneven, but you let it rest for an hour, it'll look much better. You come back, you smooth it out, you keep working it. The dough will eventually fix itself. You don't have to think that just because it doesn't look perfect now that you messed it up. It's fine. Things will work out. I was just thinking about this youtiao dough recipe the other day because I feel like when I made this recipe, I was telling Mom she should give it a try and let me know how it works. But I don't know if she ever made it, unfortunately. Maybe like a gochujang sauce? So basically over the next few hours, I'll just keep doing this, going around the bowl, lifting it up, stretching it towards the other side, and just doing it all around until this dough feels a little more sturdy, so to speak. You can also do a little bit of this shoveling knead action with really sloshy doughs when you can't really, get your hands around the whole ball to manipulate it. You can just give it a nice little shovel. You're basically stretching the gluten networks, setting them back in, just making them tougher. I would not consider a meet and greet right now. I don't see the point of it. I meet and greet you guys every day virtually. I've lost a sense of understanding of why huge gatherings are necessary anymore. I understand the point of gathering with friends, like a small gathering, because then you can have conversations, but I don't really see the point in doing bigger things. Concerts, awards shows, I feel like we can all do them virtually now. You know what? The first time I made Lalaos on youtiao dough, it was much more experimental, and we did put a lot of spices in it, and I don't think she liked it very much. I think at this age, she just likes whatever foods bring her more familiarity, and so I'm trying to keep it simple just for her. And then, you know, this is really nice because I make a huge batch of dough on the weekend, and then I fry some off fresh for her every day. And not only does she get to enjoy it, simple and plain, Erin and I are also free to fry some off for ourselves, and when we fry them off, we can coat them in confectioner sugar, and they turn into like beignets. Erin coats them in like spicy chili oil sometimes, and you can really dress them up without having to alter the entire dough right now at this stage. It's very versatile. Versatile? Versatile? I also feel like at this point everyone has gotten so sick and tired of worrying about COVID that, like, you know, I think New York City just lifted our mask mandate this week. I don't understand. I think, does it really suck that much to have to wear a mask? It's just another piece of clothing but for your face, but I guess it's important to other people. Hi, Brazil. Yeah, I'm still gonna wear a fucking mask everywhere I go. That's not something that I would want to take a risk on, honestly. It's just not worth it. Oh, I also have to clean out the frying oil. I change this out every week. It's still pretty clear for the most part, but I think it's time. Let me go dump it out. I mean, also here's the thing. I was never a fan of concerts. I hate the experience of movie theaters as well, for the most part. The only movie that I really enjoyed seeing on the big screen, not that I see many movies to begin with on the big screen, is It Follows. It's a horror movie, kind of like a psychological thriller horror movie, and it had a really nice soundtrack that kind of boomed into the theater. But for the most part, I'm not a concert goer. I don't like other people's reactions messing with how I enjoy the experience. So I don't think I've been to a single concert that I've actually wanted to repeat again. I think at the end of the day, I'm just an introvert, even though I talk a lot. I think we kind of shooed the non-cat lovers away because we used to just show Fred for half an hour eating his food every day. And so everybody who was not a fan of that just went away. To which I say, good. Good riddance. But Fred is very cute, and hopefully you will get to see him later when I cut my hair. Does anybody have any ideas of how I should cut my hair? I was debating, I could just go for like a very uniform, like bob length kind of chop, you know, that's fine. Or I could go for like a more asymmetrical, shorter on this end, longer on this end kind of thing, you know? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not buzzing my hair this time. It's just too much work growing it back and keeping it. Like a buzz cut is really nice for maybe 2 months, and then you're like, what the fuck do I do with this now? Not signing myself up for that kind of maintenance commitment quite yet. Okay. 汤圆 dough then. I think there's still water in there. It's good. I'm also not dyeing my hair. That's just too much work. It's too much work and I'm lazy. Okay, I'm going to do what did you expect? The original recipe calls for adding in a tablespoon of sweetened condensed milk. I'm thinking I'm going to add in some of this herbal cough syrup for Lala. It has the consistency of condensed milk, and it has the sweetness of sweet milk, but I don't know, maybe it'll help soothe her throat a little bit. I used to put this in her congee. I wouldn't taste much of it in the congee itself. I think it's gonna be fine. It might even be delicious. Who knows? I mean, sourdough starter can't be from 1870 if they just keep feeding it. It's kind of like saying, I've been alive since the beginning of time, because I guess that's true. In some way or another, I evolved from whatever organism that came before me. So in that sense, we are all one, aren't we? Just got really hippy-dippy on ya. I'm sure Aaron has a food map for every city that we've gone to, but I don't think we're gonna like turn it into a blog or anything, so it's gonna be a lot of work. I think if you already said you can't eat as much as I can, safe to say you can just go through our LA vlogs and jot down where I went in those places, because I attach Google Map links to all the vlogs from LA for your convenience. Marshmallows may help a sore throat, but Grandma's gonna think I'm trying to feed her sugar and therefore give her diabetes, so she probably won't want to eat it. But if I hide a little bit of cough syrup in her tangyuan that's not very sweet, maybe she'll let me get away with it. This is a wonderful steamer. Wow, thanks, Mom. Look at that color. Okay. That's really pretty. I enjoy staring into that. Now I'm just waiting for my water to come up to a boil, and then we can stream it into the dough. I have not gone to Pink's, but I had an Uber driver recommend it to me. I just wasn't feeling hot dog. Oh, I gave Grandma shots of the cough syrup. And the next day she was like, I don't like eating this. And I was like, Grandma, that's not a snack for you. That's a cough syrup for you, for when you need it. Probably didn't need to boil that much water. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go Google some hair inspo. I really wish I could get a bob to look good without styling products, but unfortunately I feel like all the images I see of bobs definitely have some kind of product in them to hold them in place like that. I mean, they always look really nice, and then they always look terrible on me because I'm too lazy to actually put any effort into my hair at the beginning of every day. So we're probably gonna go for like I don't know, I'm feeling like an asymmetrical lob. It'll be more like a bob on one side and more of a lob on the other. And obviously the back is gonna look horrendous because nobody can cut their own hair like that. So it's not gonna be salon style, guys. You're just gonna watch a train wreck happen, which is fine. That's what these lives are for. Nice. I think our sweet potatoes are pretty much cooked. I'm gonna stab a few more just to make sure. Yes. When it goes through the pieces like butter, that's when you know you're done. I do feel like there is uneven heating happening in this pot. So I'm going to turn it around. Even if I cut it to one level bob, I'm still not going to achieve like salon quality, you know, because I can't cut the back of my head like someone else can. So that's that. Adjust your expectations. Would it be unethical of me to put Bailey's into Grandma's tongue again? Would it be unethical of me to give Grandma an edible without explaining what it is? Probably. Don't freak out, guys. I don't have access to edible. I'm not gonna make any, okay? I'm not gonna 420 Grandma. Don't worry about it. But I will tell you that the first week I was in Mom's house, I was like absolutely going through some shit. And the first thing I grabbed from my Woodside apartment to bring back to Mom's house was some weed, and I smoked it. And Grandma saw me smoking it, and she was like freaking out. She was like, "What is this disease? Where did you learn to smoke?" And I was just like, "Chill, Grandma, do you want some?" And hard to believe that was only 5 months ago, because it feels like longer, but I got a really big kick out of that moment. It gelatinizes the mochiko right away. Guys, this smells so good. You know what this smells like? Did you ever go to like Chinese restaurants and they, for dessert, they have that like almond jello pudding thing? It smells almondy. It smells like almond extract. It smells so good. So at a certain point, the chopsticks aren't going to do much. You're just going to have to go in with your hand. And yes, it is very hot, as in it is steaming. But you will get used to the pain. No, seriously, don't do this unless you already don't have feeling in your hands. But you will also get used to the pain. It hurts right now. Slowly bringing the drier flour into the wetter dough and just kneading it until it comes together into a cohesive, smooth ball. Adding a teaspoon more of water as necessary, but the center of the dough is so moist right now, I feel like if I just keep working this in, I won't need any more water. Of course, how much water you add to your tangyuan dough will affect how soft it is. So this is all up to personal taste. How I like my tangyuan dough may not be how you like your tangyuan dough. And how I like my tangyuan dough today may not be how I like my tangyuan dough a month from now. So, recipes. A guideline, not a prescription. My friend Nez gave me this t-shirt. It is adorable. I think she got it somewhere on Instagram, or at least the artist is on Instagram. But I have since forgotten. I am sorry. But I wonder if you just Google "Shut Up Everyone Cat t-shirt," if you will be able to find it. There we go. I am such the only child. You got that right. Oh, do I not have a lid for this? Gosh darn it. Alright. You'll do in a pinch. We're going to just let this hang out until probably tomorrow. Tastes kind of like grits. YouTube lets you post links in the chat unless you're a moderator. So I think the best thing to do right now is to just Google it. It's not that hard, y'all. You're on the internet already. Okay then. I think we can turn that off. I think we can dump that out. Aha. Woo. Look at that steam. I don't pack very much when I travel. I take one backpack with me and another collapsible one for goodies on the way back. But none of our trips have exceeded 10 or 12 days. I usually bring with me 4 changes of clothing. I hand wash my underwear. I don't bring more than probably like 8 pairs of socks. I will just wash them halfway through the trip. You always end up packing more than you need. You don't need it. We are not making merch, so if you guys want to make a t-shirt that says, I'm not gonna 420 grandma, by all means, you have my blessing. Make sure part of the proceeds go to some good organization, will you? Today about how like living in a very capital driven world, we have come to associate the idea of consumerism with social justice. Like, I don't know if you remember in the height of BLM last year, all the corporations were like, here are top 20 black owned businesses you can support right now. And Delish did the same because every corporation was doing the same because a lot of these brands make money off of e-commerce. So they link out to these websites, businesses, and they make like, I don't know how much commission, but you know, if you go through that link and you buy it, they make e-com revenue. And we have come to equate buying shit with doing the right thing, which I'm not sure if the math works out on that. Aaron was walking through the East Village and he saw the longest line he's ever seen outside Veselka, which is a Ukrainian-owned restaurant here in New York City. They sell amazing pierogies. I ate there once. I was like, it can't be as good as it's hyped up to be. It was really good. Excellent pierogies. But also, like, I don't know if the restaurant was offering a share of their proceeds to help the current situation in Ukraine right now. Like, I don't know. But this is what our world has come to, is buy shit, because this is the only way that we seem to be able to help. It makes me feel conflicted. I mean, if this is the best that we can do, then this is the best that we can do. But like, is it the best that we can do? And is it actually helping that much? I don't know. Which, by the way, if you're looking for an herbal tea, not a plug, I just saw this and I'll probably end up buying a bag this weekend. Harney & Sons has a blend of tea that is cornflower, which is blue, and chamomile, which is yellow, and they call it yellow and blue, or blue and yellow, which are incidentally the colors of the Ukrainian flag, and they are offering 100% of the proceeds to go towards, I don't remember what organization, but one organization that is targeted towards kind of relief rescue efforts. But it's just something to chew on, you know, because I don't know if this is the way we should keep on trying to solve the world. I also don't know if we should just like maybe give up on making the world a better place. I don't know. Anyway, haircut time. Okay. I will just eat this first though, because it is very delicious, and you can look at Fred in the background. Japanese sweet potatoes, amazing. Introducing the mirror that I got from Mom's house. I think this will be able to stay, and we'll be able to have like a little infinity mirror. This is gonna be wow. It's gonna get trippy. You sure you don't want a 420 grandma? Now we have a third mirror, also from Mom's. Look at yourself. Look at your, well, if my camera were any better and this mirror any less dirtier, you would have had a real moment of existential crisis, you know? But, sorry, I don't have my shit together for that level of inception yet. I do need to hang this up somewhere, though. Here on my light stand. Oh god, we're gonna break a mirror today, pretty sure that's gonna happen. Oh Jesus. Are you stable, my dude? No, you're not. How about now? Are you stable now? Why are you... Oh, okay. Wow. This is undoubtedly the jankiest setup the world has ever seen. Probably should have thought this through a little bit better, huh? Ahead of putting on the live. Surrounded. I'm surrounded by my own reflection. Fred, are you ready to see me make a mess? Okay, so normally when I cut my hair like this, obviously the fewer pieces of clothing on you, the better, because the hair will just get everywhere. But since this isn't quite OnlyFans yet, we just got this very 90s tank top going on that I'm pretty sure I wore during 6th grade, and it was like 8 sizes too big for me. But now look, guys, we have a whole like 90s thing going on today, huh? Very retro fit. I don't think Aaron and I will be moving this year. It is just too much to handle because I have all of Mom's mail coming through. And to be forwarding her mail to me here and then forwarding mail from here to a new place is just a little too much for me to handle. You know? Okay, so which side should be shorter? I'm feeling this shite should be longer. Yes, we have the highlights thing going. I want to chop off, you see how these were bangs, they grew out, it's been over a year, it's been 14 months since I got that styled at the salon. I think we're gonna go chop off this length right here, and then we'll go a little bit shorter on this side. So let me tie this side back up again. Your hair is bent right now. This isn't a good idea. Listen, my friend, I don't do good ideas. Good ideas are for those people who are in life to win it. Bad ideas are for people who are just trying to get through the day and live a little. You know? There's nothing to be gained here. Every day goes by and you lose. It's kind of like inflation. I was looking at different checking and savings accounts and how, you know, some of them have 0.5 interest and some of them even have 1% interest. And I was like, in the grand scheme of things, none of these accounts are good ideas because inflation is like 7% right now. So wherever you put your money, you're losing money. So why not just spend it right now? You know? There's no point. There's no point. Dry or wet cut? Probably dry. Maybe I should get a spray bottle. This is the spray bottle that I just sprayed Freddie with in the middle of the night when he wouldn't stop meowing. And I was losing my mind, and I chased him around for 25 seconds, spraying him, and he got real quiet. Is that animal abuse? I don't know. Is it human abuse for him to meow like that? Try a not blunt cut. You guys are telling me to cut my hair as if I know what the fuck I'm doing. Guys, lower your expectations now. Just, you've come to see me make a fool out of myself. Enjoy it. god. I shouldn't be doing this facing the tiny ass camera. I should be doing this facing the mirror. There we go. That's why I set this up for myself. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I so wish we had some music to play right now. Damn copyright rules. There's a lot of not terrible royalty-free music on YouTube, believe it or not. I actually, when I edit my own videos, I quite enjoy the process of like trying to look for songs that sound fun and not like shit. Ooh, there goes hair everywhere. I think a lot of people cut hair out of necessity, like it's getting too long and unwieldy for them. And sometimes it's like that for me. But for the most part, it's because I'm tired of who I am. And a lot of the times, it's stemming from body image issues. And sometimes I'm just like, it's time for another side. I was thinking whether we change our appearance because we either hate ourselves, we love ourselves, or we just want a new self. But all of those are kind of false dichotomies. You're not really capable of hating or loving yourself. And you're not really capable of being a new self either. Because, well, it's wrong, it's inaccurate on two levels. One, you're never quite the same you. And two, you will never escape being you, whoever you are. That's the paradox of it all. So, I guess just do your best to have fun with it. Okay, this is a very blunt cut, obviously. I can spend 4 hours layering this later. But that's probably the length that we're gonna go for. I actually didn't shampoo my hair yesterday because my natural scalp oils, as disgusting as that sounds, helps me weigh down the hair a little bit, so it gets me more of an accurate feel of how this hair would rest. Okay, that is too much. Here we go. If I had 3 hands, I would love to layer this current snip that I'm doing, but I don't have 3 hands, which is why home haircuts look like shit. This is why salons always have those like clips that hold things in place, and they have those very quick scissors that just take like 1 or 2 snips to cut all the way through where they want. And I'm using, what am I using? Scotch trademarked titanium scissors. So that's where we are now. There is so much hair not in the garbage can right now. I didn't do the highlights myself. These were done by Salon 87 around Christmas time of 2020. Yes, so 14 months ago. They needed hair models for something they were shooting, and I was like, I guess I can do that. I can be your hair model. Should we go for an even bob? Or should we just go for it? I'm debating. So this is the length that my shaved sides has grown out to. Not bad. This will give you an idea of how this will look. Kind of. Not really. Not quite. Hopefully I can do a little more for this side. But I don't... Ooh. I don't really know. I usually end up hating my haircuts for about a month after any cut anyway, so it really doesn't matter. What if we left it uneven like this, though? Interesting. You are McLovin it, yes. This is very interesting. I haven't changed the part in my hair in a very long time. Yes, I know, sections, of course. I'm not professional. You get to that point where you're just like, I've been debating this too long. It's time for action. And right now, Fred doesn't give a shit. And neither should you. Look at how much shit Fred gives. Nothing. Fred gives no shits. Aight? Uneven bisexual bob? Is that a thing? Is that truly a thing? Hey Fred, do you want to give an opinion on how I'm doing so far? No, he doesn't. Why? Because it doesn't concern him. We should all be more like Fred. Okay, I'm gonna switch my mirrors now because I have so many mirrors to look into. I'm not hating this so far. It is lob. Lob. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Have you heard of the 80-20 rule? You should like basically only spend 80% of your effort on a single project because the remaining 20% just has ever receding returns. And I feel like that's the same with haircuts too. If I spent 2 hours on a haircut, I probably could have stopped way sooner than that. don't know what my back looks like. Huh. Let's see. Can I see what my back looks like? Can you see what my back looks like? Oh, I can see it in the other mirror. Wow. Having two mirrors really does help. That's not too bad, right? What do you think? It's not awful. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. That is a good question. Can I still pull it into a pony? I don't know. I wasn't able to pull this hair into a pony to begin with anyway, because my shaved sides are too short. So, kind of, but no. I need these to grow out a little bit faster, please. They're getting very awkward. But the good thing is I can still tuck them behind my ears, and then they look less awkward. But I can't wait for these to grow out a little bit more so I can stop doing this every 2 seconds. But I like this length. Yes, the back could probably be better, but do I care enough? It kind of looks like somebody just dipped my hair into a bowl of bleach at the very tip. I'd say this is a good length. Perfect. What do we call this look? I've never gotten the hang of a French braid, unfortunately, so chances are I won't be able to pull this hair up into a French braid. This trash bag comes to you courtesy of Mom as well. I found it in her garage. I took home some of her last remaining house items in it, and it got really ripped on the subway ride because it was snowing that day, and now it is a trash bag holding my hair. Thanks, Mom, for everything you've given. Y'all, you just have to embrace the chaos. You may have ideas of where you want to go, but you ultimately don't really decide where you end up. So just go with it. This is not terrible. If I keep doing this for another 5 minutes, it will become terrible. So but also if it becomes terrible, it's fine. Because nothing really matters. One of my happiest memories of me and Mom is we used to watch, and I feel like I've probably told this story 100 times already, but it makes me happy to tell it, so I'm gonna tell it again. We used to watch this Chinese TV show and I don't remember the name of it anymore. And it just featured this main character, this dude, who would always kind of break the fourth wall and turn to the camera and say at one part in the episode, 这不重要, which means literally, this isn't important. And the best part of that memory is me and my mom turning to face each other and laughing our butts off, because it's like, it's comedic relief in the show. I think that's 80% why we laugh, but the other 20% is like, both of us are very type A. Mom was especially hard on herself. I think that's kind of what killed her too. She's just very hard on herself. And in her death, I've learned that there's no reason to be this hard on yourself. I think I was talking to Mom's coworker yesterday, who loved her a lot and misses her very much. And I was saying how I think Mom would have made a great feminist if she were not born in a period and a culture that didn't encourage women to be feminists, which, you know, still continue. Unfortunately, Mom didn't have that feminist education, and she kept doing things for other people, and she kept playing by the book of what society wanted her to be, and that was how she evaluated herself. But how I wish she could have loved herself with just 25% of how much she loved everyone else. Okay. Freddie? What do you think? Do you like my new hair? Okay, I'm gonna take that blink as a yes. Yes? Freddie, you're so adorable. Look at you. Look at you. Yes, I am definitely learning to love and to forgive myself. Yes? What are you trying to say with your tail, bud? I don't think Fred likes this hair. That's fine. I'm gonna say I like this hair. Maybe we'll cut it again. Maybe I'll wash it and then I'll decide that I hate it and we'll have to change it up. Freddie, would you like to wish the people a happy rest of their Saturday? And, ooh, you know what we need to do? We need to take our vitamins. And I'll turn the youtiao dough one more time so you could see how it's changed. Look, there's already a tiny bubble. How exciting. So I'll probably do this like, I don't know, 7 or 8 more times until the dough looks more cohesive, until this roughness turns smooth, and it will happen. Just give it time and be patient. And I don't know, tomorrow maybe we'll fry up some. Here's our tangyuan dough. I'm going to go ahead and, oh my gosh, that smells so much like the almond pudding that they serve in Chinese restaurants. I'm gonna go ahead and fridge this. I'm gonna go ahead and mash up some of these sweet potatoes now because they'll be harder to mash up smoothly. Ooh, that's hot. Once they're cold. And this will be the core of our filling for Lala's tangyuans. I'm gonna eat some because they're delicious. Also, just so you know, the ends of these sweet potatoes are gonna be much more fibrous than the centers. So if you need something smooth, definitely try to use the centers. If you don't mind the kind of fiber hairs, then you can eat whichever part you want, but I don't think Lala will like the fibers, so I will eat them. Take one for the team. Just going to add a little touch of powdered sugar. It'll help it set and it'll help it kind of sweeten itself a little bit more. But I don't think I'll add anything else to this. I think the last time I made this for Lala, there was a little bit of peanut butter in it. But I'm greedy. I want to eat my peanut butter myself. So you can see the tiny little hairs, the fibers. I was thinking I should add I think I'll add a little bit of butter. Just to make it a little bit more rich in a way without being overwhelming. Super fibrous and you've never had sweet potatoes, good lord. What you've been missing out on. Sweet potatoes, I would say, taste a little bit like, I would say a little bit like carrots, a little bit like wheat bran and carrots had a baby, and then you took some dulce de leche and you mixed that in there. So then it has this very like mashy, creamy, sweet, but earthy. It tastes a little bit, I don't know, guys, help me out. Let me just take another bite. Well, Japanese sweet potato tastes a little bit different than American orange sweet potato. The Japanese sweet potato tastes a lot like chestnuts. American sweet potatoes don't remind me of chestnuts at all. It definitely has, if you ever had kabocha squash, it definitely has that similarity of like creamy orange root vegetable kind of feel. But man, don't live your life without ever having tasted sweet potato. Try it. I'm gonna go ahead, take a little bite of this. That tastes really good. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and fridge it. And tomorrow I will probably form it into balls, freeze it, and we'll make some tongue-in. I could find a fucking lid for it. Why don't I have a lid for anything? Next time you eat mashed sweet potato, especially the Japanese variety, add a little bit of powdered sugar and a little tab of butter, and you've got like this insanely easy, creamy dessert. Incredibly delicious. Overall, success. It's only 4 p.m. here, so there's still 8 hours to this day. I could still fuck it up. It's not too late. You know, Mom has always said, by the way, she loves Japan. Mom loved living in Japan so much. She always wanted to go back there and live because Japan is the one country where Mom's morality and abundance of coherence to the rules actually matter, because the Japanese culture is so quietly strict and obedient, which is a good thing for someone like Mom, but a bad thing for the rest. What is on my chest? Oh, sweet potato. A bad thing for those of us who hate to break rules all the time. It is kind of impossible to not break rules when you're in Japan if you didn't grow up in that culture. It's just if you're a foreigner, aka if you're white, for the most part, you get a pass on breaking the rules because you're white. But Mom always used to say that Japanese desserts are really boring, that they look beautiful, but they never taste great. And I think she was only referring to like traditional Japanese desserts, and I'm starting to see that because somebody just said there's a Japanese dessert where you just mix the sweet potato with butter and sugar and then you bake it into a bar with an egg wash, which, yep, sounds very Japanese. It's gonna be delicious, but it is kind of just boring, relatively speaking. But random tidbits of Mom. Hope you enjoyed today's live. Let's see if Fred wants some sweet potato. Freddy dear. Freddy. Freddy? You like sweet potato, right? You're gonna make a mess on my bed. My bed is not a plate, Fred. There you go, buddy. We have no schedule on the lives. None at all. He is a sweet potato cat. I'm very sad he's not a peanut butter cat, because I really wanted a cat who could bond with me over peanut butter, but at least he likes sweet potato. At least there's that. Freddy, have you forgotten how to eat? My good sir. Now you're just eating straight up fur balls off of the blanket. Freddy, we gotta get you more teeth, huh? Can't keep any of the food in your mouth. Too big? Is that chunk too big? Here, try a smaller one. Okay. Okay, Fred, you want to say bye to the peoples? What's your message to them? I see. Okay, well, guys, you heard Fred. Go take his message to heart. And have a great rest of your day. Bye.